Welcome to 3-Minute Bible Study on Historical References to Jesus. The primary historical documents on Jesus Christ are in the New Testament, but references to Christ are also found in ancient writings from unbelievers. From the historical context of the Roman Empire, Greek culture, and the Jewish people, we will examine external references to Christ, beginning with Rome. Tacitus was a Roman senator and historian born about AD 56. In his account of Nero's rule and its persecution of Christians, Tacitus gives the following background. Christus, from whom the name had its origin, suffered the extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of one of our procurators, Pontius Pilate. This gives us Roman reference to Christ, to his execution, and to the same political time frame as recorded in Luke 3:1. Greece. Lucian of Samosata was a Greek satirist of the 2nd century who wrote the following. The Christians, worship a man who introduced their novel rites and was crucified on that account. And again, they worship the crucified sage and live after his laws. Jewish. The works of Josephus, the 1st century Jewish historian, include two references to Jesus, one in relation to his death and a second in relation to his brother James. The consensus of scholarship is that while the second text is original, the first text represents the combination of an original statement from Josephus plus some favorable embellishments added by a later hand. The excerpt shown here represents not those later embellishments, but a minimal part of the core recognized as being from Josephus, and records Jesus being condemned to the cross under Pilate. Josephus' second reference concerns the stoning of James, the brother of Jesus, who is called Christ, thus providing external 1st century references to both Jesus and his brother James, compare Galatians 1:19. We've seen historical references from Roman, Greek, and Jewish writers, but as noted earlier, the primary documents on Jesus are found in the New Testament itself, whose very origin and existence would be inexplicable had Jesus never existed. The New Testament texts include accounts about and testimony from witnesses who knew, heard, and saw Jesus. And for those inclined to view the New Testament as later generation legends, we'll close with a text that is both early and datable. 1 Corinthians is a letter from Paul that dates to about AD 55. And in chapter 15 on the resurrection, Paul is reminding them of what he'd taught in person back when he came to Corinth around AD 50. This is datable by the proconsulship of Gallio. See 3-Minute Bible Study on Archaeology for further info. Now, AD 50 brings us within about 20 years of Christ's death, burial, and resurrection. Note also that in chapter 15, Paul gives a witness list with known people still living who had seen Jesus. Not some later generation. This is a datable list with living witnesses that knew and saw Jesus. From the biblical text foremost, and additionally from history provided by unbelievers, we can document the historicity of Jesus. But Jesus of Nazareth did more than exist in history. He also changed history. The single most influential person in the history of the world was not a myth. He was and is Christ Jesus of Nazareth. For a transcript and more videos, see 3MinuteBibleStudy.com.